I've always enjoyed learning new technology, and lately I've been playing around with AI, trying to figure out how it could improve my business, both in the office as well as in the shop. Today I had the opportunity to use AI specifically for a project need. A friend of mine who works on old homes had asked me to recreate a molding profile that he couldn't find within the local distributor. I started by taking the existing molding and painting the end of it white so I could get an image that had a very good contrast between it and its surroundings. I took that image and, as you see here, I uploaded it into AI, provided some clear instructions, and poof. Well, not really poof, but certainly a lot quicker than how I had recreated molding profiles in the past. And this is the result of my AI request. Now that the AI has returned our image, which you can see here basically, which is a white outline around the original molding shape with a black background. So I've already taken that image and imported it into Aspire, where I'm going to now do a bitmap tracing, and essentially what I need to do is just grab the white color from there and then preview it, apply, and then close. And then what I can do is just get rid of the original image that was on there. I will need to ungroup the objects that are on there because essentially what you're going to see is two lines. One line that was on the outside of that white border, and then one line that was on the inside. So I can delete the inside one, and now I have the shape of the molding in which we want to recreate. Now, it's rather big right now within the Aspire application, so what I need to do is I need to make it 3 inches wide by 3/4 of an inch high. So I've created a box down here which kind of gives me an idea of the size that I need to make this thing. So I'll just bring it down here at the bottom, move it over until I get to that box, and then just shrink that guy down. And I'll get it as close as I can. I don't necessarily need to be exactly perfect for this demonstration, but just to get it close. So we're about there and there. Okay, so now that that's done, I can get rid of that box. What I need to do now is basically take this shape of the molding and I need to get rid of the bottom portion of it, because essentially all I need to make the molding tool paths is just the top portion. So what I'll do is I'll just grab some lines and then just move those in here. That one, move it down. And then what I'm going to do is just delete the lines. And now it's an open vector, but we're not worried about cutting it out necessarily. We just need that shape, that top shape, in order to make the molding toolpath. So now what I need to do is create a line. Doesn't need to be any specific length at this point, just needs to have a line. And then open up the toolpaths. I'm going to select the molding toolpath icon in the toolpaths. I'm going to grab that line so that line is highlighted. I'm also going to come down and do select and then click on the actual molding path. There's a lot of selections to be done in here. I won't go through them all. There's a few other folks that have created a great tutorial on how to make molding toolpaths. So I'm just going to breeze through most of this right now. I do know that I am going to use a 1/8 inch bull nose. Depending on the level of detail that your molding has, you might be able to get away with a 1/8 inch bull nose. You might also be able to use a 1/4 inch, which essentially will be a lot faster the bigger bit that you can choose to use. Now, in a test that I did do, I did use a 1/16 inch ball nose, but it took forever to complete. I found by using the 1/8 inch ball nose, I didn't lose a lot of the detail within the molding, and it ran a lot quicker than the 1/16 inch. So I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use the 1/4 inch end mill to clear off a bulk of the material within the molding, and this will allow the ball nose to run a little bit more smoother and not have to clear away as much material. One note that I will tell you is your standard feeds and speeds on here are probably going to be set to a rather slow feed and speed. So what I would say is 50 inches per minute is really slow. It's going to take a long time to complete this process. I ran, and I'll show you the video towards the end of this video, the molding that I did, I ran it at 350 inches per minute. And it seemed to run just fine, and it came out really, really clean. I was using the high density MDF or HDF, or some may call it HDM. I did use that to make my molding, and it just came out really, really clean. Didn't need to sand it at all. It was really smooth. So I would change mine probably to 350. You might be uncomfortable going that fast, but you could probably even do like a 200. You can also change your plunge rate to probably something a little higher, maybe a 50 or a 60. I won't change those in here, but it's something to consider that will obviously increase the speed at which you can get this molding done. Same will hold true for the clearing on the end mill piece. You can go in and make those changes as well to increase the speed at which it clears out that material. On the end mill, I probably ran mine at 250 or 300, and it cleared it fine. There was no issues, and again, the molding came out really, really crisp. So from here, I have everything done. I'm going to go ahead and click calculate just to kind of show you what it will look like. And then I'll do the run feature, give you a real quick idea of what that will look like. So that is the molding, and I'll show you the end result towards the end of the video. But you can see that it comes out looking, pretty darn close to what we originally were after. Especially not bad for AI coming in and creating that. From here, normally I would save the tool path out to a location that my CNC controller can pick up. However, I'm on my laptop and my post processor is not loaded in on this version of Aspire, nor do I hook my laptop up to my CNC. So I can save this onto a thumb drive or email it to myself in the shop at that point. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the CNC and let it do its magic. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Until next time.